The Central America War, which occurred from 1979 to 1992, was a complex, multi-theater Cold War-era conflict that engulfed several nations across the region and drew deep involvement from the United States and its allies. Sparked by the Nicaraguan Revolution in the summer of 1979, the regional instability soon spread into El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and beyond, ultimately contributing to U.S. military actions in Grenada. In 1983 and later on in the decade in late 1989 in Panama. At its heart, the conflict was a proxy war between U.S.-backed anti-communist regimes and leftist revolutionary movements supported by the Soviet Union, Cuba, and other allied states. What began as a localized uprising quickly escalated into one of the bloodiest and most politically charged conflicts in the Western Hemisphere during the late 20th century. Central to this period was the Contra War, which exploded between 1980 and 1990. Was orchestrated largely in Honduras, where U.S.-funded and trained rebel forces known as the Contras launched sustained attacks against Nicaragua's ruling Sandinista government. From Palmarola Air Base near Comayagua, U.S. military advisors, intelligence officers, and logistical teams coordinated the war effort under the broader command of U.S. Southern Command, headquartered at Quarry Heights in Panama. Honduras became a strategic linchpin in the region, with the U.S. overseeing the construction or improvement of 10 military airfields, hundreds of miles of new roads, and orchestrating over a dozen Contra camps along the Nicaraguan border inside Honduras. These infrastructure developments supported a wide array of military and paramilitary operations while providing the U.S. with unparalleled access to prosecute a shadow war across Central America while attempting to stop the spread of Soviet communism. Throughout the region, the consequences of this prolonged conflict were devastating to all sides. El Salvador descended into a brutal civil war marked by widespread human rights abuses, including the operations of death squads. In Guatemala, indigenous uprisings and military repression resulted in further bloodshed. In Honduras, the feared Battalion 316 operated with impunity, carrying out interrogations, torture, and extrajudicial killings under the cover of counterinsurgency. U.S. Navy vessels patrolled off the coast of Nicaragua. Bombing runs and reconnaissance missions were flown from within Honduras, from Panama and the continental United States. Simultaneously, the CIA was implicated in organizing and funding these covert wars. However, the U.S. military played massive and significant roles throughout the conflicts. The infamous Iran-Contra Affair operation that funneled profits from arms sales to Iran into support for the Contras became a flashpoint in U.S. political history and further highlighted the murky undercurrents of U.S. involvement in Central America. Despite official denials, American troops operating in Honduras were indeed in harm's way, though the U.S. government continues to assert that no combat occurred involving U.S. forces stationed there, evidence from veterans. Declassified records and a growing grassroots movement has documented at least 70 American fatalities in Honduras and more than 45 Purple Hearts awarded to U.S. service members while operating in Honduras. In total, over 300 American military personnel are believed to have died as a result of operations tied to the broader Central America War. Regionally, it is believed that hundreds of thousands of Central Americans perished. While much of the public remains unaware of this chapter of American military history, efforts by veterans, historians, and independent researchers continue to shine a light on the sacrifice, complexity, and legacy of this deeply consequential conflict. For more detailed information, please visit us at www.uscontrawar.com and help support our mission through visiting our online store and checking out our merchandise.